Usyk was up on the scorecards 2-1.
That's robbery. That's
Okay.
the robbery.
Yeah.
That's the robbery. If that's the case, that's
Yeah.
a robbery. Kickboxing, that's nuts.
Yes,
That's
it
wild.
is.
That's nuts.
Especially with the amount of rounds comparatively and stuff, because you can have a bad round and it can really affect your fight, just like MMA. But this fight, I really thought going in, I go, look, Rico will do okay for the first couple rounds, and then it's going to start to get to him. I was shocked by it.
He fought very clever, and
he didn't fight. He didn't fight big. He created the problems of closing that distance. Every time you look how close he kept on getting into the phone, and he would do work.
Joe Rogan erupts in disbelief as the controversial stoppage between Oleksandr Usyk and Rico Verhoeven ignites outrage, with fans and experts instantly crying robbery. The judging controversy leaves Joe Rogan furious as he continues blasting the officials and insists Rico wins the fight convincingly, scoring it 8 rounds to 2.
Usyk, nothing but problems.
also Rico is known for his discipline and his fitness.
Yes.
Like, he's a guy who always has tremendous conditioning, and I think there's a lot of heavyweights that would be surprised at the work that this guy does and the pace that he could put on. So a lot of people are like, oh, he's going to get tired. He only fights 3-minute rounds.
And that's honestly
and
what
5
I was
rounds.
thinking. It gets past 5 rounds, I'm wondering how he's going to be able to hold that pace.
The guy's such a cardio fiend, and he's always shredded. And it's just, he's so used to combat too, that like getting in there, just fighting Usyk, it's not a big deal.
That right hand right there was, I mean, beautiful.
Bro, he was winning 8-2.
A kickboxing legend expected to crumble before the halfway mark instead shocks the world against Usyk, and Rogan believes the referee's intervention becomes a costly mistake.
I thought he was winning 8-2 going into the 11th round when the fight was stopped. Now, the fight shouldn't have been stopped the way it was stopped, but also, that wasn't 8 seconds after the knockdown. So after he gets knocked down, he doesn't have his mouthpiece. So then they have to go over to the corner. They rinse off his
That's a mistake
mouthpiece.
right there.
Yeah, the whole thing's a mistake. It takes like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And then the referee stops it when he's still standing, moving around.
Look, if there's one of the things that changed in boxing since I referee boxing now.
So here it is right here. This is the end. We could watch it real quick. So this is the end. Look at all this time. So he's up, and he goes over.
Oh, this is a
Look,
mistake
he's
right here.
lumbering over to his corner. Hey,
According to Rogan, the judges get it completely wrong, and the referee fails to do his job fairly, making Usyk's controversial stoppage against a kickboxer even more damaging.
but then look at this. So he swarms him with some punches, but Rico's moving. He's covering up. He's moving. And what is he supposed to do?
No.
What is he supposed to do? That's a bad stoppage.
I agree
So
with
if
you.
you're going to stop it because you felt like the first knockdown was too much, why would you let him rinse the glove off? And he didn't take significant damage after that. That's a bad stoppage.
No, and it's also the end of the
1
round.
second.
It's the end of the round.
It's literally the end of the
Okay?
round. I
And
think
you-
he actually stops it when the round's over.
But look, as the referee, Joe, you know all of this. And if you don't,
Yes.
you're not doing your job. First off, you know he's got a full minute. If I let this go 1 second, he's got a full minute to recover here. Even if I
Exactly.
did think he was a little bit hurt.
As for Rico himself, he is deeply disappointed and believes such a controversial decision does more than hurt fighters. It damages the credibility of boxing itself.
Well, believe me, after that, I was disappointed. I was heartbroken. It hurt.
Was you ever angry at any point?
I was angry as well, but I believe that when we're there, we're in a position of being an example for people and for the next generation, and not just people now, but also for the next generation. I want to be an example for my kids, even though I feel like injustice has been done to me. Like, I have to show that you can cope with that and that you can work around it. And we did, and also, of course, like I said, it hurts.
Another boxing legend, Tony Bellew, reacts furiously, calling the result a clear injustice against Rico, while insisting Mark Lyson, despite his reputation, makes a costly mistake.
Oh, listen, I was as well, and it was definitely stopped too early. And I said this on the night. I said I thought it was an injustice, really. I said Mark Lyson is a good referee, but he's made a mistake, and I do feel for him. For Rico, regardless of what's going on before or what you've got, you deserve to see the 12th round. There's just no getting around it. There's no excuses. There's no nothing. I don't believe, we see some of the stories that I said, there's conspiracy theorists and this ref, it was rigged and this, that. It's nonsense. No one's rigging anything. That's just pathetic. But at the same time, at the start of round 11, I've got you ahead on the cards.
Explaining Mark's side of the controversy, Bellew says the referee likely misses the bell. However, he points out that everyone hears the 10-second clapper, meaning there is still time left when the stoppage occurs. While Bellew stands by Usyk's victory, he believes the referee's decision comes from an honest mistake rather than wrongdoing.
I just feel, I've heard what Mark said, and he said, you know, he didn't hear the bell. And Peter has come out and said the same, he didn't even hear the bell. But I think one thing we all do here is the clapper. And we know there's 10 seconds. And when there's 10 seconds in a fight, unless someone's on the floor asleep, let them get up. Unless they're out and you weren't out. I mean, there's 5 unanswered punches when the fight stopped. But your wits are about, you're moving your head, you're trying to evade them. And I don't believe it was I believe it was a wrong stoppage. So,
and that's also one of the reasons why I can stay calm. And just like Tony just said, I believe that Mark, he's a human being, and he made a mistake.
Sharing his thoughts, Rogan believes that if the referee had made a fully legitimate call, the outcome of the fight could have looked very different. He highlights the Mouthpiece controversy as a key moment, arguing it was mistakenly used in Rico's favor and shifted momentum at the worst possible time. In his view, this confusion directly contributes to an unfair stoppage that leaves serious questions over how the fight was handled.
And they went right back to fighting, he would have stopped him there.
Maybe.
I think he was really rocked. When you see him go back to his corner, maybe is the key word.
See, one of the things that used to be, though, in boxing, it was always that you would, if a mouthpiece hit the ground, you had to take it to the corner, have it rinsed with water, and have it placed back in the fighter's mouth.
Right.
Okay, that's not the way it is anymore. Because of MMA and the fact that we take a mouthpiece off of the ground and stuff it right back in the fighter's mouth, they have now changed to the point of they do the same thing. And the difference is, many times we'll hand the mouthpiece to the MMA fighter because they have, you know, gloveless fingers.
Right.
And they put it back in. Sometimes we'll put it back in depending upon situations.
Furious over the decision, Rico is now fighting battles outside the ring with the boxing commission, and he insists the mistake from Mark Lyson was human, yet badly timed. According to Rico, he has officially appealed and demands a quick and fair apology from the athletic commission to resolve the dispute and clear the controversy surrounding the stoppage.
Is this the right moment to make a mistake? I was so close in writing history. No. Does it hurt? 100%. But what can we do?
Yeah.
It happened, and it happened to me. And at that moment, it is what it is. We can't change it anymore. So, and that's also before, I don't know if we're gonna go into it, but that's why I appealed it. The only reason I appealed it is to this. To like, yo, guys, Rico, we looked at it and you were right. We made a mistake. We are sorry. That's it.
The fight also gives Tony Bellew a chance to revisit his prediction. He admits his claim that Usyk would break Rico's style within the first 3 or 4 rounds does not come true, and Usyk fails to do so. However, Bellew still argues that by round 11, Rico looks visibly tired, with his head badly hurt, and at that stage, he is also trailing on the scorecards.
I predicted that Usyk would struggle for 3 or 4 rounds. I thought he'd have a style that he would take time to figure out, but ultimately he didn't figure it out. And by the time that he's starting to have an impact, it's in round 11, and you're behind on the cards going into round 11. Like I said, it's a difficult one, and I feel for you, I really do, because you are moments away from making history, and that would be so hard to take. But you was definitely tiring. So you was tired in round 11, you hurt, visibly hurt. And this is where I'm saying now we get in, and this is where it's irrelevant because everybody's entitled to an opinion, everybody's got an opinion.
Not only the referee, but heavyweight king Oleksandr Usyk also comes under scrutiny from critics. Max Kellerman calls it a bad stoppage and highlights a major referee mistake. During the Inside the Ring panel discussion, another opinion comes from Gabe Rosado, who believes the referee already gave Rico enough time to recover, even offering a makeup call when the mouthpiece came out. Still, it was clear Rico could not withstand the pressure after the first knockdown.
Exceeded expectations. We're talking about, as usual with boxing, controversy.
I believe the ref should grab the mouthpiece, put it right back in, or hold on to the mouthpiece. There's been times where the referee will just hold on to the mouthpiece, allows the action to continue. He let too much time run where Rico's now able to recover and it kind of, I feel he kind of made up for it.
Yeah, it's a makeup call.
Yeah, it was a makeup call.
It's a makeup call. He sits in every sport, right? Umpire misses a call. He makes it up on the other. He gives him a call. Happens in basketball. The guy doesn't get the whistle here. He blows it. Like, it's this, the ref, to me, it looked like he understood he made a mistake and advantaged Rico, who may have been stopped right there, right? And then made up for it by stopping the fight when he shouldn't have stopped the fight. It was a bad stoppage.
Despite all the controversy, Max Kellerman makes it clear Usyk's victory is still intact, and even without the referee issue, Rico was likely getting stopped in the 12th round anyway. He highlights how momentum and the judges' scorecards were already shifting heavily in Usyk's favor by that point. Kellerman sees no realistic path for Rico's victory, while still praising Usyk for executing his game plan brilliantly and doing his job at the highest level.
Do I think Rico would have won the fight? No. I think he gets stopped in the 12th. And anyway, he's going to wind up losing the decision because 2 judges had him up only a point.
Crazy.
And the other judge had it even. That's a 10-8. That's going into that round. 10-8 round means now Usyk's up a point on 2 cards. Yeah, and 2 points on another card. And 1 point on another card. He was up 2 points on one, I'm now being told, and even on 2. Right. Sorry, that's so anyway, Usyk's winning the fight on points, whether or not he deserved it after that, unless Rico did something dramatic in the 12th round, but probably he stops Rico.
Yet the real point of debate everyone focuses on is not whether Usyk's job was fair, but why Rico was not given a proper chance. According to Max Kellerman, Rico deserved the opportunity to write history in the heavyweight division, while still acknowledging he shocked many with his performance. Mike Coppinger describes a brutal knockdown when Usyk drove Rico onto the ropes, but Kellerman argues it was a normal knockdown and not Usyk at his absolute best.
That's not the point. Rico deserves the chance to win the heavyweight championship of the world.
And like you said in the open, he was coherent and defending himself. I guess it was a brutal knockdown. I mean, he almost put Rico through the ropes, but it wasn't like any danger where he was like wobbling around.
I thought it was a normal knockdown, actually. I didn't think it was an especially brutal knockdown. It was a knockdown.
No, he definitely should have been allowed to continue going to the 12th, and I think Usyk would have definitely stopped him in the 12th. He would have finished him. But, you know, it was a bad call.
Analyzing the bout, Max Kellerman criticizes Usyk's performance, suggesting he looks slightly out of shape and possibly past his peak. He compares it to fights like Mayweather versus McGregor and Fury versus Ngannou, arguing Usyk may have taken Rico lightly, similar to Floyd's approach early against Conor. While watching the fight, Kellerman is surprised by Rico's power and danger, but still believes Usyk is running out of rounds and not showing his usual elite conditioning.
It looks like Usyk took the assignment lightly to me, right? He looked a little fat. Yeah, for the first time in his career, he looked a little fat. Maybe like Floyd did to Conor, right? His plan was, look, I'm not in the best of shape, but this guy can't go 12 rounds with me. You know, we'll see what he has. Oh, look, he's pretty good. Okay, I'm gonna have to wait, tire him out. I'll catch him late. So I get that. And the feeling I got watching the fight was that's what Usyk was doing, and he would catch him late. However, Usyk is 39 years old, and it looked to me at a certain point like, yeah, I still think he's going to catch him, but he's running out of rounds. He better do it pretty soon, right? Like, did you guys at any point feel like, actually, Usyk might run out of rounds and Rico could do this?
And that is where the discussion unfolds, as what everyone witnessed was not the expected Usyk masterclass. Teddy Atlas shares his thoughts, claiming Usyk looks meaty and heavy. In his view, Usyk has not prepared properly and has moved away from traditional boxing training, focusing more on weightlifting instead. Atlas believes this shift has cost him, as it impacts his cardio and prevents him from performing with the same rhythm, speed, and control.
He looked meaty. He looked beefy. He was as heavy as of his career, he being Usyk. He did not look or act with his cardio as though he was in top shape. And he looked almost bloated, like almost in the way that I say meaty. It was almost like he was doing more weightlifting than boxing, traditional boxing training. Again, you got all of that really definitely playing into all of this.
Applauding Rico's performance, Teddy Atlas highlights how Rico remained successful in neutralizing Usyk's offense. A fight once predicted to be easy for Usyk has completely changed his stance, as Atlas admits Rico proved him wrong. In his view, Rico's preparation was excellent, allowing him to smother Usyk by consistently blocking and disrupting his attacks. He also points out that the scoring was open, yet still believes it was unfairly judged despite the competitive nature of the fight.
And it wound up where he did smother him. He did smother Usyk. He smothered his offense. And he nullified his offense. He got ahead in the fight. And Usyk, again, Usyk was, I think it took a while for Usyk to get that urgency. Now, there was another thing that I don't think they even announced. You're the one who made me aware of it, that they used open scoring in this. I wasn't even aware of it. They didn't even tell you that. And if the open scoring was out there, the way they had it scored, and they had it scored wrong.
Highlighting how the scorecards were wrong, Teddy Atlas is first surprised to learn the fight is scored closely. As he looks deeper, he finds it unsettling that Usyk is even on 2 scorecards and behind on 1 by 2 points. In his view, this is not fitting for a heavyweight like Usyk. He calls it a fight where Usyk simply stops performing. As the offense is off point, the cardio is not up to mark, and momentum never builds.
There's no doubt that Usyk shouldn't have been, even on 2 cards and then behind on 1 card going into the 10th by 2 points. That's what it was. I said originally 1 point, but it was 2 points he was behind. That shouldn't have been. But if they're doing open scoring and Usyk's people are telling him the fight's even or something, you're not going to pull the fire alarm quite the way you're going to pull it if they're telling you what the commentators had it, which was way behind. Not that they're anything to go by, but they had them way behind in there.
Whatever the scorecards say, Rico remains firm that the fight was far closer than reflected, calling it one of the biggest shocks in boxing history as he questions how the rounds were actually judged. He insists the momentum shifted back and forth throughout the fight, making it impossible to accept such a wide margin. In his view, key exchanges were overlooked, and he believes the result does not truly represent what happened inside the ring, leaving fans still divided.
To be honest, I felt like I was a lot closer than you were just reading up on those scorecards. To be honest, that is my opinion. That's how I felt. That's how I believed the fight was going. But we had the open scorecards, so we knew like after the first 4, we were like tied up. I was like, I felt like it was a little bit, but okay, this is what it is. Then after another 4 rounds, so we were 8 rounds in, I was like, oh, I'm ahead now. I'm flowing. I'm really starting to feel it. And then just that we're still tied up. And then, yeah, I was talking to, the thing in my mind went back, and then...
On the other hand, Simon Jordan believes that if the fight had not been stopped, Usyk would have been far more successful in stopping Rico in the 12th round. In his view, although Rico was trying to fire back, it was not really landing, and coming from a kickboxing background, he had no clear solution to respond. Jordan also highlights that if Usyk had been in Rico's position, the stakes and reactions would have been very different.
I was super surprised.
What did you think, Simon?
Oh no, I think it was a bad stoppage. Despite the fact that I think that Usyk would have stopped him in the 12th round, and that was something he won't agree with, but I think he had the absolute right, not just because it was 11 rounds into the fight, but I think if the roles were reversed, and I said it to Peter yesterday, if he'd have had Usyk in that position, I very much doubt they'd have stopped the fight. And it might be because you've got, quote unquote, a kickboxer fighting in a heavyweight championship. There's no real visibility of the background to him, and he wasn't given the same courtesy I think that Usyk would have been given if the roles had been reversed. So I think it's undeniable. I think most sensible heads, most people with eyes, will suggest A, he was still throwing back. Yeah, he was taking some punishment, but he was still throwing some shots back.
And with opinions still clashing from every corner, this fight still leaves more questions than answers for fans and experts alike. Was it a controversial stoppage, a judging disaster, or simply elite pressure from Usyk under chaos inside the ring? Rico's side stands firm, while analysts remain divided on what really happened. Drop your thoughts in the comments and let your voice be heard. Hit like if you want more deep boxing breakdowns, and subscribe for the next big fight story as it unfolds.